Good afternoon. Welcome to the Jack Breslin Distinguished Staff Awards and the Ruth Jameyson's Above and Beyond Award reception. What a great crowd. Today we will recognize 7 award recipients for 2014. I am Guy Procopio, chairperson of the Jack Breslin Distinguished Staff Award Committee, and to begin the program, I would like to introduce Sharon Butler, Assistant Vice President of Human Resources.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am very delighted to be here this afternoon. And once again, we've gathered together to recognize a small group of MSU employees who, like the famous Jack Breslin, personify the Spartan spirit. Winners of the Jack Breslin Distinguished Staff Award set the standard for excellence in their job performance, their work attitude, and their impressive contributions to the university community. Since 1978, just 217 MSU employees have earned the honor of becoming Jack Breslin Distinguished Staff Award winners. Today, 6 more deserving Spartans will join their ranks. I can think of no one more fitting to bestow this honor on this year's awardees than Dr. Luana K. Simon, President of Michigan State University and one of the most spirited Spartans I know. President.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And thanks to all of you for being here today to celebrate the achievements of our honorees. I may be one of the few people in the room who knew both Jack Breslin and Ruth Jameyson, which is why I have more gray hair than most of you in the room. What I would take from them in the spirit of today is, for both of them, there was a sense of relentless desire to pursue excellence in all of its forms, And you have someone who had a very visible experience, a fancy title, and someone in Ruth Jameyson who many people weren't sure that she was actually running the place. But you couldn't get past Miss Jameyson into any President Shaw or President Hanna. There's also a joke around that Ruth Jameyson corrected all of John Hanna's writings and his speeches. And to her dying day, and I had a chance to visit her near the end of her life, she would never reveal those secrets, But she would get this wry smile on her face. And you knew that she was one of those people who would have been the unsung heroes at Michigan State University. You also know that both of them shared a love for this university and worked in that definition of excellence to put the university's collective interest, not just at that moment in time in the short term, but in the long term as they evaluated everything that they did. Because they understood, like all of you do, that what we do today is really a benefit for tomorrow. We can solve a problem for today that makes life easier today. But ultimately, what we're doing is building a return on investment for the students who come through here, for the faculty and staff who are a part of our near-term family, for all of our stakeholders that has to grow over time. And they shared that in the same way that the honorees today have those characteristics. And finally, they recognized that the world was not always going to go the way they wanted it. I'm not sure what the equivalent of EBS was in their world, but there must have been one, where there were things that happened, sometimes imposed, sometimes created by the units that were involved, done for the right reasons, but having some unintended consequences. And talking to both Jack Breslin and Ruth Jameyson, they simply understood that life was like that, But the measure of greatness, no matter what role you played, what title you held, was your capacity to accept that but not be defined by it. And not have those moments be a reason for not achieving a higher level of excellence if you could, when you could. And that propelled an attitude from Michigan State University that we've all inherited. And what's so great about these awards, this recognition, is that you all, in what you do every day, are the keepers of the legacy of tomorrow. The keepers of the legacy of tomorrow. And we know it's not been easy. We know times have been tough. But through that all, we're celebrating in many ways what you've helped create in that legacy by the people we recognize, and by many more we won't recognize. So I want to thank you very much for what you've done for Michigan State University, and for what you will do in the future when somebody is here defining the greatness of Michigan State and its characteristics, and you can sit back and say, I was a part of building that. I was a part of building that. I was a part of that team that built that. I was a part of the group of people who used the Rose Bowl not as an event to cheer, but as a reminder that we have the capacity to create Rose Bowl-like moments for everyone we touch at Michigan State University, their own Rose Bowl-like moment. And you can also sit back and think that, gee whiz, when they're doing things, I hope that they're doing it in the spirit not only of Ruth Jameyson and Jack Breslin, because they won't know them by then, but also of all of you we recognize and many others that we don't recognize in the formal way, but are really a critical part of Team MSU. So thanks very much.
Thank you, President Simon. Now I'd like to introduce the Ruth Jameyson Award recipient. Please welcome Barbara Sawyer-Cope, who will introduce our recipient.
Good afternoon. My husband and I knew Ruth Jameyson, and would once again commend Dr. Simon and Tom Izzo for showing up at a 7:30 a.m. 100th birthday celebration for Ruth as a surprise, which made her, the last days of her life, very, very memorable. Because of our recognition of Ruth, and I knew Jack as well, so I guess that's my gray hair, and I knew John Hanna. I go way too far back. This recognition is the 5th annual award being given to a person who most closely exemplifies the contributions, personal characteristics, and the commitment to MSU demonstrated by Ruth Jameyson. Ruth, as was said, is former staff member and Secretary Administrative Assistant to President Shaw from 1938 to 1941, and President John Hanna from 1941 to 69. She withstood the whole duration of the Hanna years. Ms. Jameyson pursued a master's degree in economics while working full-time, and I did the same, and that resonated with me such that we thought that was a distinguishing characteristic for this particular award, is to find that staff person who accomplished both an advanced degree while working full-time. So we are pleased in our committee, which I think several of us are here, if I could just acknowledge the committee selecting Joan Smith, Mike Rice, also Roger Wilkinson, Dorothy Endress, who's Ruth's niece, Nancy Craig, and Roger Wilkinson. That was our little band of folks who had the very difficult decision of selecting among many excellent candidates. The recipient for this year's award is Sarah CARROLL, who is an administrative assistant at W.K. Kellogg Bird Sanctuary, which is a development within the Kellogg Biological Station. With 10 years of service, Sarah is described as being extremely well organized, always prepared, detail-oriented, and in control of the situation as she oversees the growing administrative operation. Her work includes coordinating and training over 60 volunteers at the Bird Sanctuary who provide tours, programs, and other vital services. Since 2008, Sarah has assisted in growing the membership of the Bird Sanctuary by 30% annually, which helps support the equipment and supplies necessary for school tours and programs for adults and families. Sarah also has recently taken on new responsibilities, working with the director of KBS on development activities, including planning and development of marketing materials, organizing events to inform current and prospective donors what is to be done at KBS and why it's important. Donor funds are critical to providing student scholarships, faculty, facility improvements, and research at KBS. Sarah is working towards a master's degree in nonprofit leadership and administration at Western Michigan University, and the program is directly relates to her daily activities and responsibilities, where she brings relevant ideas and improvements to the workplace. She actively participates in local school and community activities with her 2 husbands and children, who are here today with Sarah's parents. Please congratulate Sarah as she accepts the Ruth Jameyson Above and Beyond Award. So.
I'm going to keep this very brief. I didn't think my type A personality was going to get me this far. I'd like to thank first Barbara and Don for this award, and I hope to follow in Ruth's footsteps. The more I learn about her, she sounds like an incredible woman. My colleagues who nominated me and my family who's here today. The biological station is an off-campus site of Michigan State University, but I thank everybody that I work with at the biological station and come with contact in the campus. We all go above and beyond, and Michigan State is a fabulous place to work. This week also is the mark of my 11th year here at Michigan State, and I can't think of a better way to celebrate it. So thank you very much.
So I'm absolutely delighted to honor Sarah CARROLL in this way. Everything I've learned about Ms. Jameyson makes me think that Sarah is an ideal candidate for this. She's passionate about MSU, she's passionate about her work, and she really cares about making this a better place.
I was utterly shocked, very, very surprised. I've been very, very blessed by Michigan State University and KBS, and especially the people here at KBS, and they make me want to be here. I love this place.
Well, Sarah is really the heart of the Bird Sanctuary. We have a pretty small staff, and Sarah's kind of the glue that keeps us together.
She's just on the ball with everything and managing all of us and where we need to be and what we need to do. And frankly, I couldn't have excelled at this job without her.
Really, she has been a true inspiration about how to become a member of the KBS team.
She's just a wonderful person to work with, and she never complains about extra hours or extra work, and she does a great job.
She just really makes handling so many things at the same time look so effortless.
Sarah spends her time here at the sanctuary 40 hours a week, but then she also juggles taking care of her family and going to school and finishing up her master's degree, and frankly, I have no idea how she does it and does it so well.
KBS, the community here, helps you balance. We are always looking out for each other and just reminding each other, you know, go out and take a walk, that sort of thing. Because there are times that I walk in the door and have a little bit on my plate.
I think Sarah epitomizes what a person can become when they work for Michigan State. She came here as an hourly employee working in the bookstore. She fell in love with the Bird Sanctuary and the work that's being done there. She's overseen much of its evolution now into having a broader outreach and education mission, and has become more interested in fundraising as part of that, and so that's part of what motivated her to go on and get her master's degree now, which we are going to take full advantage of.
Every time you deal with Sarah, you know that she's thinking of KBS. She's thinking of you know, what we all can do as a team to make this count, to make people's lives better.
It's really important to have outlets like this where you feel somebody like Sarah who has gone above and beyond, there's a equivalent way to say thank you.
This is the kind of employee we can all have at Michigan State, and I feel some responsibility to making sure that it's a place where Sarah Carroll always wants to stay and work, because it's people like Sarah that make this institution a better place.
Thank you, Sarah, for a great job. And also thank you, Barbara. To begin the Jack Breslin Distinguished Staff Awards portion of the program, I would like to recognize the members of the Jack Breslin Award Committee who have spent countless hours at committee meetings, reviewing applications, conducting interviews, and selecting the recipients. Would you please stand when I call your name? Celia Cosme Brook. Earl Chapman, Dean Fisher, Paul Harper, Sally Nogel, Dave Oslin, Desiree Quinney, Vivianne Robinson, Audrey Smith, Norma Traumeter, and we have one committee member who's absent today, Peter McGee. The Jack Breslin Award Committee and I would also like to thank our human resource team, Sherry Margraves, Jackie Musell, Bethany Baux, and my assistant, Patty Nioli, for all their work that they have done and their continued support. Thank you. Thank you all for joining us today to pay tribute to these 6 exceptional award winners. This marks the 37th year of this prestigious award, and with today's honorees, 223 staff will have been honored since the award's inception in 1978. So without further delay, let's introduce this year's recipient. Committee member Dave Oslin, will you please introduce our first recipient, Bob CERU.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us today. It's my pleasure to introduce Robert CERU. Bob is a chemical safety officer for the Environmental Health and Safety Office here on campus. He oversees the development, implementation, and monitoring of comprehensive programs to control and/or eliminate chemical and occupational hazards in compliance with local, state, federal rules, regulations, and guidelines. Robert has worked for MSU for more than 20 years, forging strong working relationships with the East Lansing Fire Department, the MSU Police Department. He has served on many committees on campus and directs the MSU Environmental Health and Safety After Hours Emergency Response Team. Please turn your attention to the video screens for a more personal look at Robert CERU.
Well, I have to admit, it's an honor for anyone to receive the Jack Breslin Distinguished Staff Award. For me personally, I was really shocked, and it was a tremendous privilege.
Well, I've been working with Bob for, I guess, about 15 years almost, and I'd say the main thing is he's been very receptive to actually understanding that we have things that we need to do in order to make progress.
We work with our faculty and research staff to make sure that we have a safe and healthy environment when they're doing research.
One of the reasons Bob is getting this award is because we've got an atmosphere of safety here that Bob has helped create. We are doing things in a safe way.
He's been my mentor as far as safety goes for about 19 years.
His demeanor, calm, cool, but most importantly, his desire to make sure he educates us before there's a problem, as opposed to telling us how to respond after a problem, is something that just, Bob stands out.
We really appreciate Bob's leadership and his capacity to understand various needs of ever-changing different laboratories on campus.
He has the style that brings people together. We're all a team, and I think that we can continue to look forward to continued good relationships with the EHS office because of Bob's leadership.
I'm really thankful not only to the chemistry department, the chem hygiene subcommittee, but our chem safety staff in environmental health and safety.
Please join the selection committee as we congratulate Robert CERU, a 2014 recipient of the Jack Breslin Distinguished Staff Award.
I'd like to express my sincere and heartfelt gratitude for receiving this award. It's almost surreal. I'd like to thank my wife. I can't tell you how many times after midnight, 2 in the morning, when my phone rang. I used to keep the pager right by my head, and now my phone is always on. And the hundreds of times that the phone went off because there was something going on campus, she woke up, never complained. There were so many times when I had a cup of coffee on my way out the door or a snack, and the light was always on when I came home, and I really appreciate that. I'd like to thank my staff, the whole staff at Environmental Health and Safety, and in particular the chemical safety staff and the hazardous waste staff. I firmly believe that I would not be standing here receiving this award if it wasn't for your hard work and dedication, and I sincerely thank you for that. For the Chem Hygiene Subcommittee, it's really a pleasure to work with you. It's a pleasure. I know that you have busy jobs as faculty, but it's just a complete delight to work with you, and I thank you for all your hard work. In the first years of the chemical hygiene plan, you spent probably every 2 weeks, a couple hours, just helping put this program together. And I really believe that this award is a reflection of your dedication and your hard work, and I thank you for that. I'd like to thank Chief Bry for being here from the East Lansing Fire Department. Thanks for wearing your Class A's. You look really good. And I really appreciate all the time spent with Fire Department and training and how you protect campus. And lastly, I really am just awed and honored. I think one of the biggest privileges and compliments I could have for my career here at Michigan State is to be nominated by the chemistry department. Those first few years, I remember in 1992 going to chemistry, and I wore a tie because that's what I wore on my previous job. And John Funkhauser said, get rid of the tie or no one will trust you at chemistry. And I remember that was tough, those first number of years. I'd like to thank Kathy Hunt. When she became chair of chemistry, things really changed, and they were very open to working with then ORCBS. John McCracken has followed, and then Rob Maleshka has brought it to just a newer level. And I just really value and cherish the time we have together, and I want to thank you too for your dedication to health and safety. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. Committee member Earl Chapman will now introduce Yvette Chavez.
Yvette Chavez is an editorial assistant for the Women's Resource Center, where she edits documents, oversees and updates the website, drafts new releases, manages the WRC monthly newsletter, maintains the list server, and more. Yvette also strongly involved in the local community throughout volunteering time to the PAC-MAC Spelling Bee Team Challenge and Sister Maternity Center. Please turn your attention to the video screen for a more personal look at Yvette Chavez.
Yvette has been with the university for over 30 years. She just stands out head and shoulders above most people that I know here at the university.
I'm very humbled and grateful and surprised to be awarded for doing something that we do every day, just doing my job. I am an editor, so we have a monthly newsletter. I also do conference planning, accounting, work with students, faculty, and staff, help with programming and things like that.
We do so much to empower women, faculty, staff, and students here on this campus. Our tagline is advancing gender equity through education and access to resources, and I think Yvette epitomizes what the Women's Resource Center is all about in the work that she does. We had a staff meeting that wasn't really a staff meeting.
Then all of a sudden, practically half of the building came into the room and started telling me that I had won the award, so there's the key.
I guess everybody is surprised when they get a nomination and an award of this caliber. It's one of the highest level awards here at the university.
I want to thank my director, Jane Scheidemann, for nominating me and for everyone who wrote letters of support.
Please join the selection committee as we congratulate Yvette Chavez for the 2014 recipient of the Jack Breslin Distinguished Staff Award.
Thank you. Wow. For me, this award couldn't have happened at a better time, and I am just so blessed and humbled by this and honored. And I'd like to thank, again, Jane Scheidemann for nominating me, and for my WRC crew, because without them, I couldn't do half the things that I do. We play hard, but we work harder. And because we have that balance, we're close-knit and get a lot of things done. As I thought about some of the things that I wanted to say today, I thought about all of the award winners, and the one thing that we have in common is that someone nominated us. And there's so many people on this campus that work in the spirit of excellence that go unnoticed. And so I would just like to encourage everyone that is able to nominate that person that deserves to be awarded. Thank you.
And now committee member Desiree Quinney will introduce Pat GRAUER.
Good afternoon. Pat GRAUER, Patricia Gower, I like Pat, is a communications manager for the MSU College of Osteomedicine, handling community and public relations for MSU COM. Her responsibilities include writing, editing, media relations, and public production. Pat has worked more than 40 years as the lead communications manager for the college. Pat's commitment to diversity and social justice are demonstrated through her teamwork on the MSU COM Slavery to Freedom Lecture Series and the charitable programs Simple Gifts and Heart and Soul, both of which she introduced to the MSU COM community. Now please turn your attention to the video screens for more of Pat GRAUER.
The Breslin Award is something that I've nominated a number of people for, and I would consider it to be the highest honor in the university for a staff member. I was stunned when I found out I was going to receive it. I had never, ever considered that that would happen to me.
Pat and I actually started at Michigan State University in the College of Osteopathic Medicine on the same day of the same year, which was 40 years ago, and we have been colleagues ever since.
When I saw the nomination form come across my desk, it was just an obvious thing to think about Pat for something like this. I think this award was made for her because the qualities that they're looking for in an award winner are things that she just exhibits every day with everybody she meets.
The College of Osteopathic Medicine is an amazing place, and it's full of amazing people doing amazing things. And I've been in this college for 41 years and never wanted to work anywhere else.
Pat is astounding. She has always been there for me to help me learn as much as possible. And I really, in the last 3 years working with her, I've learned so much.
I feel very honored to have been selected, and something I'll remember the rest of my life.
Please join me and the selection committee as we congratulate Pat GRAUER as the 2014 recipient of the Jack Breslin Distinguished Staff Award.
You know, at my age, it's a rare and wonderful thing to have so many people I care about in one room and to be alive to be able to enjoy it. The overwhelming feeling today is one of gratitude and love. And what I want you to know that I'm a person that's been blessed with 4 families. The first is my family of blood, my children and those whom they've chosen. And I'm so proud of your courage, your values, and your achievements. My second family is my Spartan family. The most intimate part of that group is the external programs group. These are my closest colleagues, and we work as a very tight team. It's always been that way for that team across these 40 years that Sandy had mentioned. And I'm doing what I love with colleagues I love in this unit. I want to tell you about the College of Osteopathic Medicine. I truly do believe it's an amazing place full of amazing people doing amazing things. We're 9th in the nation among all medical schools for primary care education. We have programs on 5 continents. We have the highest level of National Institutes of Health funding of any osteopathic college. And we produce the most doctors for the state of Michigan of any other medical school here. And it's the kind of doctors we all need, lots and lots of primary care physicians. The college is extremely supportive. It too is a family. And the volunteerism level, the caring, and the concern for individuals are truly remarkable. And for MSU, thank you, MSU, for a beautiful environment, an intellectual atmosphere, one that gave me a master's degree, benefits that literally for our family on 3 occasions have been life-saving. And for being the kind of institution that is not only excellent in generating knowledge, but in applying it to society, which is something that I value very much. Finally, the third family is my family of faith. The prayers, the help, the support that has come from my church and my larger church family is something that I'm very grateful for. And the fourth family is my family of choice, my amazing friends. You're all different. You all are remarkable people, and it's just such a joy to have you all in my life. So thank you for this award. Thank you for all you are and all you do. And my heart is just full of gratitude. Thank you.
Committee member Vivian Robinson will now introduce Brenda Nelson.
Brenda Nelson works for Culinary Services as a Dining Services Complex Manager 2, where she leads a team of 60 regular and 800 part-time employees. Brenda is best known for her motto and philosophy, serving it with love. This approach creates a culture of love, respect, and service to the customer and others with whom she interacts. Brenda was recognized with the Dorothy Millbrook Staff Award in 2004, is a member of the Black Faculty, Staff, and Administrators Association, volunteers for the MSU Gospel Choir, and will be receiving her master's degree in higher adult lifelong education from MSU this May. Please turn your attention to the video screens for a more personal look at Brenda Nelson.
You know, I just love coming to work doing my job, and if I never got this award, I would still love my work coming to work every day.
Brenda is an extraordinary person, and she has student success at the heart of everything she does.
And a lot of people think we do food, but really what we do is people. We believe we're serving the students' needs and also the staff that works for us. We have about 675 student employees, and my goal is to make sure they graduate.
She's definitely someone that I consider to be an authentic leader. You just gravitate to that kind of energy, that compassion that she has.
Brenda, on a daily basis, does her job well because she's concerned about the lifestyle, about what the students are going through.
And she's used her phrase, serving it with love, and I think that exudes through everything she does.
And I'm usually would like to stay behind the scenes, but I will not, because this award means other folks have said that they think I deserve this award, and I wouldn't take that away from them.
It was easy for me to put this together because it was clear how much people believe in her ability to make a difference, you know, in their lives as well as the lives of students on campus.
I've also had the opportunity to get an education, and a world-class one, and I continued that education. So I believe in continuous learning, and Michigan State allows that. I'm a Spartan for life, I know. I could have left and gone someplace else, but why go? I'm living a great life here, and I think I'm still contributing to this institution, and I think I'm getting better. And that's what I want to show people. You can have a career here. You can really be a Spartan for life.
Please join the selection committee in congratulating Brenda Nelson, a 2014 recipient of the Jack Breslin Distinguished Staff Award.
So I'm not going to preach. I'm not even going to sing, but I'm going to sing praises to Amy Radford Pop, who took on this mission that I am so humbled to be honored today. And I want to thank my family. And you know who you are, and you're distant, you're close, and you've touched my life. I am me because of you, because of your sacrifices and my time and devoted here at Michigan State. I have given up so many moments with you, and I thank you for that. To Lila and to my siblings, to my close friends who gathered today, it is you who make me who I am. To my colleagues who you've taught me so much, I continue to grow. I thank you for your patience, your kindness, and your well wishes. I do this because I am the granddaughter of a slave. And because I have come this far, I challenge every student that they can come this far as well. And to be honored here today is the most humbling thing that has ever happened to me, and I thank God for that. And I thank you for your continued good wishes, because many of you I've said I'm praying for you, because I am. I continue to do that. And keep praying for me, because it is so needful, because we're here for students. And it's my career. I've said it once, twice. Even though I'm in food, I'm in people. Always people, forever people. And Michigan State has allowed me to do that, and I continue to grow. So thank you, everyone, for coming out.
And now committee member Celia Cosme Brooks will introduce Kurt Simon.
Kurt Simon is an HVAC Mechanic 2 in the Infrastructure Planning and Facilities Engineer Mechanical Systems A&I Department. Kurt is one of only 2 team members responsible for upgrading and replacing the electronic and pneumatic control cabinets in buildings, automated systems housed in campus buildings constructed as far back as 1855. Kurt's community involvements include being a member of Pheasants Forever, volunteering at his church, and being a certified soccer referee for children's soccer. Please turn your attention to the video screens for a more personal look at Kurt Simon.
One of the most important things he teaches is to take your time, be neat, and ensure you're doing the job correctly the first time.
I can go to any panel that is on campus and point out which ones were done by Kurt Simon, just because of the quality of the work.
I am quite honored to get the award. I was surprised. Sue Velinoff nominated me last year, I thought, and so it didn't happen, so I didn't think about it this year until everybody walked in. And then I knew something was up, and I remembered that she had done that last year, and I thought, uh-oh, it's me.
Working with Kurt, he was very experienced, and he guided me, basically taught me everything I know on the installation side, and gained all my experience from him.
Kurt makes me look good because he made sure that my budgets were met, my timelines were met, and if it met, he had to work extra hours, and to get the job done, he did.
It was real easy to work with him and find out when you were doing something wrong, because you would know that right away. But then the follow-up to that was, if you asked a question why, it wasn't just because I said so. It was, this is how it's got to be done to make things work correctly. The standards that he has for construction were the benchmark that I tried to base my career on.
It used to be that we were, making things run behind the scenes, and now it's being able to showcase that we do keep MSU running, and we do it because we want to, and because we want to keep people safe, not because we have to. And Kurt is here because he wants to.
Please join the selection committee in congratulating Kurt Simon as a 2014 recipient of the Jack Breslin Distinguished Staff Award.
Quite an honor. I'm still not quite used to it. I'd like to thank God for the good life I have, and for hopefully many more years. I'd like to thank my wife for putting up with me for all this time. I'd also like to take this time to let my son, Eric, and my daughter, Emily, know how proud I am of them. And I'd like to thank Sue Velinoff for nominating me, and all the letters that people have written in my support. I appreciate that very much. I would like to thank all the people in the department that's helped me get to where I am today, and the help that they've given me over the years, and hopefully I can continue to give them back some of the help that they've given me. Thank you very much, all.
And now committee member Dean Fisher will introduce our final recipient, Russell Werner.
Russell Werner is an Information Technologist 2 for the MSU English Language Center, where he is responsible for software development, customer support, database administration, systems software support, and more. Russell has designed and built an ELC student information database, an online faculty annual evaluation system, and has represented the ELC in numerous technology discussions. Please turn your attention to the video screens for a more personal look at Russell Werner.
My official job is here in the English Language Center. So our department teaches English to all the international students, test them. Basically every international student you see on campus has had to go through us at one point in time. So I do handle programming, tech support. I don't know how to word it, basically like a one-man IT shop essentially for the entire department.
Russ is our Superman. He's my Superman. I think he's everybody in the English Language Center's Superman. He's really fast. He's able to anticipate our needs. He's amazing at doing things really from his heart.
He's just always in our head about, matters related to technology in our center. He's really the key person that helped us really achieve a lot of advancements in managing this huge influx of international students that's come in the last several years.
He's the kind of guy who's up, really, I don't know what he does. He doesn't sleep, I don't think.
I'll call him or text him at 1:30 in the morning, and more times than not, he'll respond.
Now I'm ingrained in the community and kind of here to work with people and make sure that our professors can do their job they need to.
He's got this Spartan can-do attitude. Whatever it is, and it needs to get done, he will help to make sure it gets done.
The fact that they took time out of their day to say thank you to me is something I don't even know how to say thanks back to them, to be honest with you. It's humbling, I guess is the best way to word it.
Would you please join the selection committee in congratulating Russell Werner as a 2014 recipient of the Jack Breslin Distinguished Staff Award.
I'm not sure how to follow that one, so, except for, I mean, I had so many people come today to say thank you to. I don't know how to, as I said in the video, I don't know how to say thank you to you guys. I mean, the 4 people that nominated me are the 4 busiest people I've ever met. I mean, Sue Gass, our director, probably was just in 2 different countries in the last week. Pat, again, she probably sleeps even less than I do. Carol puts up with all of my stuff. And Dr. Prestel's up in the college dealing with all of our BS that comes out of the IT office. I'd like to thank everybody that wrote references for me. This was out of the blue and completely unexpected, to say the least. I'd like to say thanks to my student workers. I got 2 of them here. Mostly so they wouldn't call me when I was up here. But without them, I don't think I could do my job. And to everybody else I work with at DLC, you're like a family. And I don't think I could do what I do without you guys. So, thank you.
Each recipient has a table with a display of some personal items and a favorite food selection. Please visit, if you already haven't done so, at each table. Check out the displays, sample some foods, and congratulate the recipients for this year's outstanding achievements. On behalf of the Jack Breslin Distinguished Staff Award Committee and the Ruth Jameyson Above and Beyond Award, thank you for joining us and recognizing the 7 awardees. Thank you again, and please enjoy the reception.